Hey, it's Tpok, and I'm back in Katawa Shoujo. So, what I'm gonna do first is the bad ending for Hanako, and then go back and get the neutral, so I'm not so depressed. So, this is well into her arc. It's like the last choice you make for Act 3. Basically, if you want the good or neutral ending, you just spend more time with Hanako. If you call it a day, that leads you down Act 4, which has the bad ending. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to try and take a nap. My head is killing me. Judging by Hanako's instant relief, I can only assume that I've guessed right. I don't think she wants to be out and about. Wordlessly, she turns and heads back through the school gate. We walk all the way back to the dorms together, stopping awkwardly at the spot where we need to part. Well then, goodbye. Do you want to have some tea or something later? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly. I'm tired. Maybe tomorrow? I've got homework. I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons after all. Homework. Thanks for reminding me. I've got a stack to do as well. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you, Hisao. Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking towards the entrance of the female dormitory buildings. I look at the door she disappears through for a bit before going off towards my own dorms. Tomorrow will be a better day. And here is Act 4, Scars. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag, and headed off, all as per my usual daily routine. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour, until every empty seat was eventually taken other than Hanako's. I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't show up to class every now and again. It feels all the more worrying now as well that Lily's left. As Matao continues to drone on, I find my gaze flicking every so often over to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal. Or at least, it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it apparently was much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday, and my suspicions are starting to rise after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by how I can help her, but in the end I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class, though Matao looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures after all. Just when I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself. Afternoon, Hee-chan. Afternoon, Misha, Shizune. You both look bright as ever. Shi-chan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Sure, it'll be good to have some company. The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Yamaku is different though, in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rush is. What one would expect is to be an unruly mob chomping at the bit to get out get to the serving area is rather a neat and organized line. There's a small amount of jostling, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead. But it's pretty subdued. This is due, no doubt, to the very serious rules regarding such matters in this school. The same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways or come to and from their dormitories in the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like this sense of order that's enforced in the school. I didn't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches though. I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table where they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. I heave a sigh of relief as I put it all down, after the significant difficulty I had carrying it all in addition to my own lunch. Thank you. Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Shizune simply gives an appreciative nod before her steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it a little to cool it down. I open my own lunch, another packet of sweetbread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind. So I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me down here. You two seem to always have an ulterior motive after all. What are you saying, Hifan? You don't have an ulterior motive. Her mouth is full of sweetbread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. Shizune looks a little grossed out before going back to eat her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not buttering me up to make me work with you after school? Nope. Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give. Nuh-uh. Fine. You win. I guess you just wanted to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as me then. That's it, Hichan. You got it. Shizune looks unimpressed as Misha finishes signing our conversation and sucks in the last of a long noodle as she signs her own thoughts. Shichan says you shouldn't be so suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all. How are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks as if I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. It should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech. But when someone else is doing the talking for her, it's a surprisingly difficult task. It's the class representative's job to ensure everybody's doing alright in class, isn't it? Not really. Wait, how is it making me get your food, ensuring that I'll go well in class? Shizune huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. So this is the things we get for giving you the companionship during lunchtime? That's a total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that Lily's away and Hanako is absent, and since those two are the only people you hang around with, you also made it kind of obvious to see. Ouch. I may well have done so, but you didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback for before. Right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, and that isn't sarcasm. The two nod, and we get back to finishing our meals. It feels a little embarrassing to be accompanied just because they noticed I was lonely, but it isn't as if they're strangers either. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice, and as I do so, I find my mind wandering back to what I'd been thinking about before the two interrupted my train of thought. So guys, it's been about like 10 minutes, and I'm pretty sure this has happened before. I don't know, it's been like 2 years since I last read this. So I'm gonna skip ahead. Yeah, I've seen all this before. So the skip should stop once, I haven't read anything. Okay. So, apparently this choice doesn't matter for this arc, so I'm just gonna trust my own judgment. I listen carefully to what Lily has to say, but I can't bring myself to agree with her. Hanako is a delicate person at the best of times, and after what has happened when her birthday was brought up, I think this is the very last situation where we should be leaving her alone if she's deliberately secluding herself. It feels like Lily has a very definite image of how best to deal with Hanako in her mind, though. Not just now, but in all the time that I've known the two. I'm all over the best course of action in my head, and found myself trying to verbally agree with Lily as softly and as ambivalently as I can. We make some small talk afterwards, but neither of us really has much stomach for it in the light of recent events. We say our goodbyes before I hang up. I want to talk to Hanako myself to help her as best I can. The best thing for her right now would be to have someone close to her, not to be left alone. I rap my knuckles thrice on Hanako's door. As expected, there's no answer. I briefly consider knocking again, but I know full well that I'd just get the same result if I did. Resting my hand on Hanako's door handle, I try to prepare what I want to say to her. Try as I might, I can't really think of anything worth saying. I want to comfort her, yes, but I have no idea how to do that. That alone is almost enough to stop me. I told Lily that I would, though, so I feel like I have to follow through, whether I'm confident about it or not. I turn the handle downwards with a large amount of hesitation. It doesn't move far, though, due to the door being locked. Hanako. So she really has locked me out. After everything that happened between us and the time we spent together, she's shut me out completely. I don't know if you can hear me, but I just want to talk to you a bit. If you can hear me, could you unlock the door? I wait in silence. Minutes pass, but eventually I hear footsteps coming to the door and the lock being worked. At least she's willing to hear me out. That's one good thing. I don't really know what to say, but I just wanted to see you. I wanted to make sure you're all right. I take a breath before pushing the handle down and opening the door. If she unlocked it without raising any protest, it should be fine for me to go in. Hanako was sitting on the side of her bed, her face sullen as though in deep thought. Her room is as stark as ever, and right now, she seems perfectly suited to perfectly suit the mood it gives off. Eventually, her eyes slowly move to the door. As soon as she notices my presence, she darts off her bed and jumps to her feet, facing me straight on. Her oversized gown makes this gesture look all the more sweeping as it freely moves about her light frame. What are you? I quickly regret coming in as I look at her. She looks depressed, but there's a tinge of anger behind it. So she can make this kind of expression as well. I just wanted to check that you were alright. I thought it would be okay since you unlocked the door. Hanako opens her mouth to speak, but quickly closes it again before looking away. We stand in silence for a while before she steps back and sits down on the side of her bed. I'm not sure whether she's frustrated with me and resigned to the fact that I'm here, or genuinely okay with me being in her room. Once again, I found myself completely unable to work out how she feels. It's annoying. I end up walking to her desk chair and taking a seat. I do it slowly, to allow her time to raise any issues she might have with me sticking around, but she doesn't say anything. All she does is stare at the ground, not moving a muscle. After sitting with my front to the chair's back, I take a better look at Hanako. She appears pale, but her cheeks look red. I'm not sure if she's been eating well either, given how thin her frame looks. Lily might have said it would be better if I kept more of a distance from her. It is hard to think of that as the correct way to deal with Hanako when she looks like this. She keeps looking at the ground without a word, as if waiting for me to say something. It's entirely reasonable since I'm the one who came into her room. Want to go out somewhere? Going down the hill to town might be a bit much, but we could at least go for a walk outside. Why do you want to do that? I was just thinking that it might help you a bit. You spend so much time inside, your skin's gonna get as pale as lilies before long. I snort in amusement, expecting Hanako to do the same, but she gives no reaction. She just goes back to looking at the ground. If you don't want to go, I don't want to go either. It's fine, I played soccer and hung out with friends after school a lot before coming to Yamaku, so I like being outdoors. Hanako shows no visible reaction. It's hard to talk to her when the discussion is so one-sided. We could go to the library, if it wasn't closed by about now. The gardens would be fine now. She begins to play with her hair. It's distracting and strikes me as a little unusual for her. Then again, since the incident in class happened, I've been tiptoeing around her for fear of hurting her like that again. Actively trying to get her outside might be a good thing. I lean forward a bit more in the chair and give her a slightly forced smile to try and lighten the mood a little. There wouldn't be anyone around by now, so you wouldn't have to worry about someone getting in our way. It could be a little date or something. I give a small chuckle, but catch myself as Hanako stops playing with her hair and grips the bed tightly. Hanako's mouth moves, but try as I might, I can't pick out what she's mumbling. Hanako? You don't understand. Even now, I can only barely understand what she says. It feels like she's trying to make her presence as small as possible. That's incredibly natural for her to do in class or around others, but it hurts when she tries it around me. I told you it's fine, it's just a little walk, nobody will notice us. I get out of the chair and walk towards the door, turning back to invite Hanako along. Once again, she doesn't respond at all to what I say. I don't. Going outside for a bit is good for clearing your head. Why do you want to do this? Because I want to help you. I don't want help. Did you come here just to try and get me out? I don't mind. I think everyone needs help sometimes. When I was trying to get through my first days at Yamaku, you and Lily helped me a lot. Besides, I'm not exactly busy. I don't want to go. I'm fine. I don't really think it's healthy to stay indoors that long. The sun's still got a little life in it, so it's not too late to have at least a little walk. I could probably use a bit of exercise anyway, to help wake me up. I've got some homework to get done, and it wouldn't be good to fall asleep halfway through it. Then go. By myself? She nods. Well, I'm not really against that, but are you sure? I swung by to invite you to come with me. I'm fine. You can go. Come on, just a small walk. Please, just go. I'm fine here. Hanako? I try to look at her face to gauge her feelings, but her expression is wooden, as if it was so carefully arranged that a single movement might cause it to collapse. Well, if you want to stay here, maybe we could play a game? Just leave, please. I don't want to do anything right now. Surely there's something you want to do. It must be boring sitting here in your room all alone. I want you to go. Come on, you don't have to be like that. I just wanted to spend some time with you. Lily and I are worried, so... You talked to her? Yeah, we were on the phone just a while ago. We're both really worried about you. Hanako mumbles to herself again. It's increasingly disturbing. Hanako? I'm telling you, please go away. You don't understand anything. If we just had a talk, you could tell me what I don't understand. I just want to protect you. I don't really see. Get out, please. Just locking yourself in your room again isn't going to help anything, Hanako. Please. Silence. Hanako, I just want to help you. She suddenly storms off her bed, turning to me with an expression that takes me completely off guard. Get out of my room, get out of my room, get out of my room. Hanako yells at me with such force that for the first time in a long time, I feel genuinely frightened. I have no idea how to react to this, and from Hanako, of all people. Leave. I'm telling you, go. But I was just trying to help you. I know I need help. I know I'm broken. I don't need you to tell me that. I never said you were broken or anything like that. It's written on your face, it's written on Lily's face, it's written on everybody's faces. I see a therapist every week. Lily dotes on me as if I were a child, and now even you. Nothing's changed, nothing at all. I hate Lily, and I hate you more than anyone. Her face moves in strange, almost grotesque ways. I've never seen someone so completely lose it before, but it looks like the usually quiet and withdrawn girl in front of me is going into just such a destructive cycle before my eyes. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what I should say or do. Go, leave me alone, get out of here. I take a step back, then another, then another. My retreat is only halted when I feel the door against my back. I can't fix this situation. Nothing I say would change anything now. I feel like I'm in a strange and deeply unsettling foreign world. I don't want to be here anymore. The door handle fights my clumsy attempts to open the door without turning my back to Hanako. Eventually, thankfully, the handle moves downwards. I open the door as fast as I can, and almost leap backwards through it. As I go through, I keep my eyes on the girl in front of me. She's not broken. Hanako isn't broken. If she were broken, then I'm just as broken as she is after all that's happened to me. Lily only ever did the best by her, and I only ever tried to protect her as best I could. Hanako looks down, all her energy spent. Now that I've stepped out of her room, the worst of her fury is gone. But even now, I can't bring myself to argue with her. It's not just the deep shock at what she said. It feels like something else is stopping me. Something deep, and that makes me feel physically sick. Without a word, I slowly shut the door. The creak of the old hinges sounded almost deafening. With a final thud, the wooden door closes. The Hanako that I felt I knew disappears behind it, and only a faint orange slivers of light peek at the very edges. I feel numb. Without anything else to do, I begin to walk back to my dormitory room, mechanically placing one foot in front of the other while barely registering a thing around me. My mind keeps ticking, questioning everything that I thought I knew about Hanako. But one thing is not questioned, that shutting the door brought a close to more than a single visit. So that was Hanako's bad ending. They don't even give me music. They know it was a bad ending. Well, okay. So the next way to end it, I guess, is this one. It's called, what is going on outside my room? I don't know, it's loud, I'm sorry. It's Faraway Presence. Basically, the good ending was to trust Lily. The neutral ending is just going to be trust myself. And it says I did it. Was that from the other one, maybe? I'm gonna trust my own judgment. But... oh, I can't skip. I listen carefully to what Lily has to say, but I can't bring myself to agree with her. I want to be with Hanako more. I want to be a better friend to her, and to support her when she needs support, and to be there when she needs the most people. Most needs people. I think that I'd skip that. Oops. The memory of the store owner we met in town together still puts me off. Anyone who takes even the slightest glance at Hanako ends up staring, and to fault him for it would be completely hypocritical given my own reaction. I don't like my own scarring either, but at least I can cover it up with something as simple as a shirt. I can't imagine a life where every day would be spent trying to hide myself as much as possible. And on top of that, Hanako doesn't even have people around her that would support her no matter what she looks like. I live away from my parents, but I can still contact them and visit them when I wish. I mull over the best course of action in my head. I find myself trying to verbally agree with Lily as softly and as ambivalently as I can. Okay, this I've... oh, it didn't save, because that was a... okay. Oh, it's different. Oops. Lily and I have tried our best to be there for her. Ever since she broke down in class, I've dearly wanted to protect Hanako. If such a thing happened to her again, or even something worse, I don't know. It is something I don't want to think about. The door gives a solid series of thuds as I knock on it while carefully propping up one plate on my other arm. I doubt Hanako will open it for me, so all I can really do is hope to accomplish is to attract her attention. Evening, Hanako, it's just me. I pause for a moment to see if she will respond, but the fact that she doesn't isn't very surprising. I have some food for the both of us. Could I come in? For what feels like a very long time, some muffled voices from the floor are the only sound to be heard. Then I can hear the sound of bare feet on the floor as coming up to the door, and I stifle a sigh of relief as I hear the locks being worked. When Hanako opens the door, I look at her intently. She looks up momentarily to the plate in my left hand. It's a modest curry dish I quickly made from a packet. Her eyes move to the plate in my right hand, which holds the same thing before looking down again. As she shuffles back into her room, I realize I haven't said a word to her. I glumly follow her in, slightly embarrassed by having been so wrapped up in observing her. Excuse me a second. More than ever, the gray and stark atmosphere of Hanako's room feels like a reflection of her personality. The voices from outside become completely inaudible, and the silence inside oppressive once I close the door. Walking to the far end of the room, I place 2 plates on her desk. I'm thankful that she let me in, but as I turn to face her, I can't help but having second thoughts about coming to see her. Sorry, needed some water. I don't believe Lily was right, though. Looking at Hanako like this, I can only think that giving her space is the last thing we should be doing. I don't want to imagine it, but she may be doing something very foolish. It's just an instant meal, but it should be filling. I take a plate in my hand, offering it to her. She wordlessly takes it and sits on the other side of the bed. I take a seat in her chair, and the familiar sound of eating rings in the room as we dig in with our forks that were stuck to the rice. The curry itself tastes okay. I wouldn't expect much more from a packet brand that I didn't recognize, so it not being horrible is at least something. Eating takes the edge off the fact that she isn't talking. Neither of us really likes to talk while we're eating. This reminds me of the lunchtimes we so often spent together. It's kind of nice, eating together like this. Hanako looks at me quizzically. It's at least a better expression than what she's been wearing this far. We became friends mainly over sharing lunch breaks, so it's nice to go back to those times a bit. She hesitates for a couple of seconds, and I find myself grimacing. Did I say something wrong? Eventually she smiles and nods. I would normally be very encouraged by this, but her smile looks strange. I can't quite put my finger on why. Everything's the same as before, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. You still got Lily and me to help protect you? Help you and protect you. And once she gets back, everything will be like just like she never left. Hanako nods again, her expression remaining exactly the same as before. She feels like a different Hanako from the one I'd first seen when I entered the room. It's vaguely off-putting. Both of us go back to finishing off our plate of dinners after this short exchange. Despite Hanako looking happier than before, my eyes keep flicking to her as if to reassure myself of the fact. Before long, the last of Hanako's curry is cleared. I finish the last of mine as she puts on the empty plate on the desk, and place my own empty plate and used fork on top of hers. I briefly wonder what I should say, desperately wanting to avoid another awkward silence or the prospect of leaving her room after so short a time. But Hanako is the one to speak up first. I was wondering, since you're here. She quickly goes to one of her drawers, and after a minimum of fussing around, pulls out her chessboard. Would you like to play? This time, I can't stifle the sigh of relief that escapes my lips. I hastily agree, and Hanako promptly busies herself setting up while I get the chair and take a seat on the bed. Once again, Hanako is willing to let me into her world with so simple a gesture as the game shared between us. I guess I was just winding myself up for no reason. After the board is laid down on the bed between us, we finish placing our respective pieces on it. Throughout our friendship, we never exactly exchanged that many words. When we're like this, though, I see that perhaps we never really needed to. Just a simple book, or board, or meals between us is enough to bridge that distance. I make the first move just as I've always done. This is the way our friendship was, and this is the way it will probably always be. Something definitely feels different about her, though. I can't quite grasp what it is. I look at Hanako intently, but I can't work out anything from her expression. As physically close as we may be, it feels like we're further apart than ever. Hanako is a fragile person, though, and I would never want to hurt her. It was also the way things always were, and the way things between us will probably always be. So that's not so bad. We're just friends now. But yeah. But now I've played all of Hanako's endings. And tomorrow, or the next video that will be up, will be Lily's ending, which I believe is just her neutral ending. I don't think she has a bad ending. I'm not too sure. But then it will be Rin, then Shizune, then Emi. And Rin has a whole different arc that's not necessarily good or bad, but I'm gonna do that anyway. It's just something different. It's like something related to like saying, yeah, you should pursue art. No, you shouldn't. Something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. And then Shizune apparently has a very long one. Because it's like the entirety of Act 4 was Shizune's bad ending. Or good ending. It's like, I don't know what I'm saying. Emi, I don't remember at all. But yeah. So thanks for watching Hanako's neutral and bad ending, and I will see you next time.